Hi, and in today's video, we're going to delve into the answer to the question, how does poor nutrition affect an athlete's performance? Nutrition is the fuel for athletes' bodies and growth and recovery. So it's vitally important that athletes properly fuel their body. So we're going to kind of delve into exactly what that will look like in this video. So stay tuned for that. First part of this video, we're going to talk about how nutrition impacts your endurance and your energy levels and how vitally important that is. Second, we'll look at how nutrition impacts muscle function. Thirdly, we're going to look at its impact on recovering from injury as well as injury prevention. Fourth, we're going to look at its impact on your mind, on how well you think, your ability to process information, and your overall emotional well-being. Lastly, we'll take a look at two different athletes, one whose poor nutrition impacted their athletic performance and mandated a change, and another who made nutrition a primary part of their overall training regimen. So we'll delve into that comparison as well. One important aspect of nutrition that athletes need to pay attention to is carbohydrates. One is getting the proper amount of carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are the energy store that they utilize for their energy levels and their endurance, particularly endurance athletes. But not all carbohydrates are made equal. Sugar is a carbohydrate, but having a high sugar diet is not ideal for an athlete. Another aspect of watching the nutrition, besides getting the right kinds of carbohydrates and the right amount of carbohydrates, is making sure they're hydrated. Hydration is crucial for recovery and endurance, and very often we don't take in the amount of water that we need. Replenishing your body with the electrolytes is also important. It's important to recognize, though, when you are doing this, to be careful about the sugar intake that you're taking in when you're trying to hydrate and get electrolytes at the same time. Very often, when we are reaching for that Gatorade or some other drink, there's a lot of sugar in those that you need to be just conscious of and aware of as you're trying to also hydrate, as well as get the right kinds and quantity of carbohydrates into your body. So athletes also need to get protein. You need protein in your diet because protein is what's going to build and repair muscles, and that is a must. So many athletes will use supplements to try to get the amount of protein that they want, which is fine, but again, you want to be careful about what you are actually bringing into your body. They're not all made equal. But watching your diet, making sure you're getting good lean protein, getting plenty of that protein into your system is very important. Besides making sure you have plenty of protein and good lean protein as part of your diet, you want to have a balance of vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals are going to be working in your body at the cellular level to make sure the cells are working optimally. For example, if you don't have the right amount of calcium and iron in your body, it's going to negatively impact the oxygen flow and the ability for your muscles to be repaired and your bone structure to be sound and healthy, leading to increased likelihood of muscle tears and broken bones and injuries of that sort. So you really, a good healthy diet with plenty of protein and a variety of minerals is best. And again, not all sources are equal. The best source of all these things are fresh foods. The less processed foods, the better. The more you're going to get those vitamins and minerals in their natural form that are easily absorbed into the blood system and then incorporated into the whole cellular workings. So eating a nice healthy diet of fresh foods and good lean proteins and the proper amount of carbohydrates is vital for your overall performance, recovery, health, etc. For the young athletes, high school athletes in particular, they often don't pay close enough attention to what they're bringing in. Sometimes these athletes are trying to build bulk and mass. They want to get bigger, and they just eat. They eat lots of junk food, lots of food that is not really providing the nutrients that they need. When they are not eating a well-balanced, thought-out nutritional diet, they're typically not getting the antioxidants that they need, and they're actually probably consuming too many foods that are inflammatory within the system. Inflammatory issues within the body are thought to lead to a number of diseases and long-term negative impacts on your overall health and well-being. When you are adding excess weight, it's not that healthy weight, and it's inflammatory by its very nature, that puts stress on your body. It leads to the likelihood of more injuries, slows down recovery, impacts your immune system, all the things that you don't want to have happen in order to be a highly functioning athlete performing at the peak of your ability can come from fueling your body with a wrong type of food and improper amounts. The antioxidants are crucial to make sure that you have the right amount of antioxidants coming in, as well as anti-inflammatory foods. So part of this balanced nutrition is making sure you have the right amount of omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants. Those have a huge impact on your brain function, your ability to maintain your focus, to think clearly, to process your processing speeds, process information in the way that an athlete needs to, at the level they need to, the speed that they need to. All that is impacted by having the right kinds of fats in your body, omega-3 fatty acids, and the antioxidants. So your nutrition is going to impact your ability to not only think clearly, but manage your emotions. Too much sugar, too much alcohol, too much of the wrong kinds of foods actually can be depressants on your body, right? So it will impact your mental health as well. People can use food as stress relievers. They can be comfort foods. They can be snack foods that you gravitate towards to help make you feel better. You need to watch that, and athletes are not immune to that at all. Watch what you are eating, particularly after competitions, right? Are you going out and having a big meal after a competition because you didn't want to eat beforehand? What time of day is it that you're eating? What are you eating? What are you consuming? What are you taking in, right? It is vital important to pay attention to all of that because it's going to impact your mental health as well as your body and your athletic performance. Let's look at two different athletes to see how they utilize nutrition a little bit differently. Andre Agassi was a tennis star, and early in his career, he came up in the professional circuit young and had immediate success, but he admitted himself that his nutrition was not, he didn't pay attention to it. It was not part of his training regimen whatsoever. And that poor nutrition began to have its impact on injuries and poor performance and not being able to think clearly and all these things that began to affect his game still at a relatively young age when he realized that he needed to make a change. So once he changed that and really started paying attention to his nutritional and his diet and incorporating that into his whole training thing, after a decline, he put that into play and his rankings in the tennis world shot all the way back up, and he once again became one of the top tennis players in the world. On the other hand, there's Tom Brady. And Tom Brady became legendary not just for his football play, not just his work ethic, but his fanaticism around his nutrition. He has the TB12 method. He has a whole system for watching nutrition. He was fanatical about getting the right kinds of food. He didn't, processed foods were out. It was fresh foods, lean protein. He wanted to make sure that he was fueling his body so that he could perform peak. He totally believed in trying to have a diet that minimized inflammatory aspects of diet and in the body, which included very little, if any, dairy products. And he believed that those inflammatory foods that come from highly processed foods are detrimental to flexibility, make you more susceptible to injuries. So he was extremely conscientious about what he put in his body, because he was playing a violent game, football, right? He needed to be able to be on his best, recover quickly, deal with the aches and pains and bumps and bruises that happen from playing that sport. And I think the results speak for themselves, as he played till he was like 45 years old and had one serious injury early in his career, a knee injury, that was really not so much the result of nutrition as it was just being part of the sport that he played. So Andre Agassi and Tom Brady, two examples of how nutrition can really impact your performance. I invite you to subscribe to our channel and check out all our other videos. In particular, you might be interested in checking out the video, How Does Alcohol Affect Your Athletic Performance? So check that video out today.